Good morning, my 8th class, and this time we are going to start today's topic, that is sources. In your book on page number 2 it is written here, and I have written few things on my board and I will explain you, but before that I want to read from your book. What are sources? A source is something which provides information or from which information can be obtained. Anything that provides information or anything from which we can get any sort of information is a source, right? Historical sources tell us about history. They can be divided into primary sources and the secondary sources. Here I have mentioned the primary sources and the secondary sources. As you can see, primary sources, for example, letters, newspapers, photographs, manuscripts, edicts, monuments, that is buildings. And on the other side we are having secondary sources, anything we get by somebody's interpretation. So somebody went through the primary sources and with the help of his own interpretation and his own wisdom he wrote a book, he wrote some articles, right? Those articles or those books will be considered as the secondary sources. And let me give you an example of primary source. It is very interesting to know about it, because there is a song sung by Sartaj which is written by actually Guru Gobind Singh Ji. The name of that song is Zafarnama. Zafarnama is written in Persian by Guru Gobind Singh Ji, a letter written to Aurangzeb. And if you want to know about Aurangzeb, what sort of person Aurangzeb was in the eyes of Guru Gobind Singh Ji, that letter that is Zafarnama is a very good primary source to know about Aurangzeb, right? So we are having primary source and we are having secondary source, and we will continue with the Renaissance. Now the Renaissance. What is Renaissance? Renaissance means, it is a French word. Renaissance is a French word which means rebirth and revival. In the previous video I told you there are sources, that is primary and secondary sources. So whatever the information we got from those sources, we came to conclude that how the modernization came to European society. One of the major aspects or major cause for the rise of modernization was the Renaissance. Renaissance is a revival and rebirth of new learning, new ideas. And if you remember, I told you how these Europeans came in contact with Arabs, and there was a fusion of new cultures and new ideas. And this is how this Renaissance period began at that time, right? So this Renaissance in European society put its influence on arts, literature, religion, philosophy and politics. So whatever these aspects were going on at that time, people were following some traditional things at that time, some customary things at that time. So there was new changes, or the changes took place in these fields that led to a scientific outlook. And this is the most interesting part of this thing, right? People started asking questions like why, how, where, when. And remember this thing, when you start asking these questions, or if you are asking these questions, it means you are having a rational outlook, which is known as the scientific outlook. This Renaissance not only influenced these fields, but it also helped in the emergence of this scientific outlook. People started asking questions. लोगों ने questions करने शुरू कर दिए. They started asking questions to the church authorities, and at that time, and that is the point when reform movement started beginning in the European society. भाई शुरू हो गई reform movement जो थी वो शुरू हो गई in the European society. People started asking or questioning the church authorities, church policies, because church was the only authority which was controlling the lives of the people at that time. And this is how this Renaissance influenced the whole aspects of human life, whether it was politics, whether it was social, whether it was economic, as well as the religious. In the next video, we are going to read the main features of the Renaissance that we are going to read, right?